right, guys, what is up? Welcome back to Direct Asset. Here we're going to go over the pros and cons of appendix carry and a couple things that you should know so that therefore if you're a new user or even if you're thinking about getting appendix carry and testing it out, getting a holster for it, testing it out, or you want to stay comfortable with what you already know, let's get into it. So first things first, appendix carry. Let's go over the pros. Number one, it is a quicker draw. Number two, it is more comfortable for a lot of people, especially getting in and out of a vehicle. Number three, it is faster in regards to your reloads because most times if you get a good appendix carry holster, like this Tier 1 concealed, it does have a magazine holster attached to it. So therefore, they're both in the same spot opposed to maybe if you carry 4 o'clock, they might be here and here, which is really odd to reach over, or they might be separated. There's a lot of different modifications as to how you can carry your weapon. So with that being said, another pro in regards to appendix carry is people tend to like it a lot more, even heavier set people. It doesn't mean that you have to be fit and skinny to appendix carry. Not necessarily, because there are other heavier set guys that I know that do carry Tier 1 concealed and do like appendix carry. So with that said, you know the pros. Let's talk about the cons. All right. The first con is risk, okay? One thing that I have to stress in regards to appendix carry is the level of risk that you have to subconsciously understand you are going to take by carrying the firearm in that position, all right? The first and most important risk is, where is it at? Your appendix that carries a lot of blood, okay? Then you have two major arteries called your femoral arteries that are located right here. And if there's a round or any shrapnel that gets penetrated through that femoral artery or even as simply as a tear, you can bleed out, and the worst case scenario, you may die. Okay, I need to really stress that because there is a really simple way for that to happen if you're not situationally aware of how you are handling your firearm in the appendix carry. So let's go over that. All right, when you go to lift your garment, you have to make sure you clear the whole thing. And I'll actually be posting a video on here that you'll see in a second where the garment did flip over. And I was just outside during an actual training exercise, okay, at the range. But with good fundamentals, I understood, wait, training timeout, let me pause, put the gun back in the holster, reset, okay? You'll see the video in a second. Now that we're back, as you seen, the gun had got tucked in here as I went to grab, and I couldn't fully deploy the firearm, okay? Another thing that happens is when you clear it, and let's say wind is blowing, you're twisting, turning, whatever, let's say you go to put it back in the holster, and I've seen where the garment gets jammed in the holster like that, or it knots up or twirls. Therefore, look where your trigger finger should be is along the receiver. Some people still have it here at the actual trigger, okay? That's a no-no. So you want to have it here along the receiver no matter what's going on, okay? So even as you're deploying, bang, 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 you go to put it back, make sure you clear the garment. What I like to do is I like to pop my hip out a bit, lean back so I can see entry point where it's going. Boom, it's in, I'm done, all right? Same thing when we're, getting in your fighting stance, you're ready to go, rip, grip, push. Got it? 3 steps. Rip, grip, and push. And then back in. You just pop your hip out just a bit so you can visibly see where the gun is going because you want that gun to go in the same spot every single time. All right? So the con is your garment can get stuck in the holster. If you do not clear it properly, or in a scenario like the video where the wind was blowing and it kind of flapped back over as I was trying to grip it and it slipped out my hand, things happen. I'll show you from the side. You draw, present, come back, boom, there you go, okay? Another thing that I've noticed, okay, is that this is something, as far as appendix carry is concerned, this is something that you really need to commit to, but also you need to practice it safely. When you clear this garment and you come up, you see where this finger is? It's not even on the gun yet until it clears the holster, like so, okay? And then you go to step 2 and present, that's number 3. Same thing when going back in. I pop my hip out a bit. I come down. This finger is still not on the trigger. And it actually extends outward as I'm putting it back into the holster. Okay? So we'll do it in real motion here. Like that. And then back in. Boom. My finger is never on the trigger. So therefore, it's never going to get caught on the trigger and cause a ND. All right? Now, there are a lot of pros to carrying Appendix. One, it is a lot quicker draw for those who practice it professionally, okay? Opposed to your 4 o'clock here, it is just this. Boom, right? So you see there, it even got snagged on my clothes. Rip, boom, okay? Again, rip, boom. Do a couple more rips. Okay. So that's your first thing with Appendix carry, is that it usually is a lot quicker. The more you practice it, you just have to understand the associated risk aspect and risk management dealt with properly by building good habits and doing good training. Okay. So another thing that can happen with Appendix, okay, and I use a Tier 1 concealed holster, which actually I'll show you. All right. I actually really like this a lot. Tier 1 concealed holster, okay? And I actually like the way it's made. It's made very well. I like the design, especially for appendix care. You do want a comfortable holster. And I'm running a TLR 7A light, all right? And it does bend with the body, okay, for those that do not know. It does bend and conform to the body, and this piece over here actually tightens against the belt and pushes it to conform even better. So it's actually very comfortable. I like it a lot. Nothing bad to say about it. Great holster, because you want to make sure you have a great holster for when you're appendix carrying, okay? So this is not to say appendix carry is the best thing in the world. You do what you're comfortable doing, because you are responsible for the firearm, how you present it, and how you train with it, okay? So you do what feels most comfortable to you. I'm just giving you little details and things for people who are new to appendix carry, who have thought about appendix carry, but don't know the pros and cons. I'm just out here giving little tips so you can make that sound decision, knowing the pros and cons as to what you're exposing yourself to, and also what you're allowing yourself to do capability-wise when you go to train, and also if and when you present your firearm in a defensive scenario. Thank you guys. Like and subscribe. Hope to see you guys back again. As always, stay tuned. Be an asset.